This is terrifying. The Supreme Court just gave immunity to Monsanto. So now you can't even sue them for giving you cancer.
Okay, it took a second to pull myself together. This morning, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Bayer Monsanto 7-2. And now we can no longer sue pesticide manufacturers when they fail to warn us that their product can make us sick, as long as the EPA says that that product is fine. Now, the EPA is an entirely corrupt agency that is effectively run by the manufacturers themselves. So it's not like we can trust what comes out of the EPA. You might be thinking, I thought we beat that, the pesticide liability shield. Well, we did in Congress. Bayer had several different paths in their strategy, which they spent tons of money on. They were going through the executive branch, through Congress, and through the judicial branch to try and get a liability shield.
And let's be clear, they are giving us cancer. They're spraying glyphosate all over the country.
Up here, the view over the Lassen area is breathtaking, even with the burn scars. And then you see it, hillside after hillside, nothing growing, just reddish dirt, the telltale sign of glyphosate spraying. This on private timberland. And now the Forest Service is planning to do the same.
And this is happening when colorectal cancer is now the leading cause of death in young Americans. And right after this new Supreme Court decision, the EPA just approved 3 more dangerous herbicides. They're known to produce all sorts of tumors in lab animals. Meanwhile, one of them is extremely deadly to any fish or marine life. There are also no long-term studies about their effects on humans. So how did they even get approved? And while they're feeding us this crap, let me show you what they like to eat.
On the ranch, one of my projects is I'm trying to create the highest quality beef in the world. This is very low stakes, right? It's I'm not selling it, I'm not, but it's I'm very into the genetics of the cattle. We're trying to figure out how do you make it so that you basically can deliver the highest density diet to them. We started growing macadamia trees because that kind of nut is extremely dense, and then they will eat a lot, so they will put on weight and become fat quicker and become delicious.
Cern is shut down, and it just got creepier. I'm sure by now you've heard they're stopping all the LHC experiments for 4 years. This sounds like a good thing, right? Unfortunately, there's way more to this story. I'm sure most of you have experienced the Mandela effect.
Okay, I'm going to 100% prove and explain to you how the Mandela effect works and why we've all experienced this and why it's so shocking. So look at this. You remember Pikachu? Didn't he have that black spot on his tail? Nope. Go try to find a picture of him with a black spot on his tail. There's no black spot. Looney Tunes. Wasn't it Tunes with 2 O's? Nope. It's apparently always been Tunes. Chick-fil-A? You thought that it was Chick, C-H-I-C. Nope. C-H-I-C-K. Fruit of the Loom, wasn't there a cornucopia? Nope. Okay, why are we all collectively remembering this wrongly?
Well, almost 10 years ago, a kid named Max tried to explain this strange phenomenon.
This is our original timeline, right? But as soon as this starts, we are infinitely catapulted into an infinite number of parallel universes. And somewhere infinity down the line, here's our universe, right? And then we're constantly shifting into alternate universes as we speak. And that expansion of infinite universes is our reality as we know it in time. So therefore, if there are other universes, they're next to ours. And this actually relates to my theory of the Mandela effect and how the particle accelerator altered the weight of one electron and therefore destroyed our universe and shifted us into the universe that's directly next to it, and therefore things are different in this universe.
So you believe that this thing that some people call the Mandela effect is actually real?
Oh, it's absolutely real.
Can you describe what it is for people who have never heard it before?
Sure. So the Mandela effect is the effect of some people thought that Nelson Mandela died at a certain time, and other people remember it as a different time. And this goes for a lot of other things, Star Wars, classic videos, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Everybody knows that. Well, if you actually look back to the original film, it's not Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. It's Magic Mirror on the Wall. And some people actually...
Which, of course, it's not.
It's not,
in
right.
the reality I grew up in.
Right, exactly. And, I mean, some people in this reality, I guess, maybe didn't make it from our last reality, I'm thinking. I'm still trying to figure out why they don't remember it.
Here's the thing. Max's explanation went viral. Even scientific magazines started discussing it. The kid was considered a genius. But then, all of a sudden, he vanished. No more posts on his social media, and even the original video got removed. Now, according to online sources, he hasn't vanished, but clearly something happened. Did he get too close to the truth? What happens when CERN starts experimenting with its new collider, which is 10 times more powerful?
We're replacing about 1.2 kilometers of the 27-kilometer ring with the high luminosity LHC magnets. This will give us a machine that's 10 times brighter than the Large Hadron Collider, 10 times more data. So it really is an opportunity to explore the universe in a way we haven't done before.
Why is every world-changing technology coming in 2030?
It will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface.
Wow.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
And one of the important statements we've, I think, made at our most recent developers conference is that we believe that one of the big advantages of augmented reality is actually solving problems here on Earth, and it will be things like having glasses and being able to translate as you speak with glasses, and those are very close.
Holograms will be very, very high quality in the era of 6G. I've already seen 5G based hologram demonstrations. They already work, but then with the next generation technology, I mean, we could be having this meeting so that in reality we would be sitting in different parts of the world.
And should we be scared about the CERN logo or the fact that they were caught worshiping a god of destruction? A retired Los Alamos scientist vanished without a trace. No phone, no wallet, not even his cigarettes. Now, a new police report claims 78-year-old Anthony Chavez had been working on teleportation technology. Sounds insane, but everything about this disappearance is insane.
He left his cigarettes at home. He left his car, obviously, his keys, his wallet. He did not have a cell phone, but reportedly, per his friend, his hobbies really were reading and hiking, and if he was going to go hike, he would take his cigarettes with him.
Records claim he was just an HVAC tech. But then why did he keep telling his friends that he was still working on quantum teleportation?
Picks up the phone, he calls his buddy Eddie, and he's like, Eddie, you're not going to believe this. They made a nuke, they put it on Mars. Like, we've been to Mars, bro. I saw the footage. Like, Matt, it wasn't just Matt Damon. Like, we have been to Mars.
Also, is it just a coincidence that this news came out right when the FEMA guy got fired? Yes, I'm talking about the same guy who claimed he had teleported to a Waffle House.
Describe the very first time you were teleported.
It was scary in a way. I mean, you don't really know, okay, is this evil? Is this good? What is this? What do I do with this? How do I deal with it? I was on the phone. Oh my God, what's happening? And I was landed, and landed about 40 miles away in a ditch outside of a Baptist church in a little tiny town just before you cross over the border.
Now, this wasn't a nobody. He was a high-ranking director at the agency. So why would he make such a crazy claim for no reason? And why did they wait 3 months before firing him? Were they just waiting for us to forget what he said?
Teleporting is no fun. It's no fun because you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really understand it. I was with my boys one time and I was telling I was going to go to Waffle House and get Waffle House. And I ended up at a Waffle House. This is in Georgia. And I ended up at a Waffle House like 50 miles away from where I was.
Speaking of forgetting things, did we all just forget the time traveler from the Charlie Chaplin film? It was reported almost 16 years ago by a filmmaker named George Clark.
The
He goes on to explain why she's definitely talking to someone with that device.
So as you can see, the guy walks on past and the lady follows him, big butch lady, and if you look carefully, she's talking on a thin black device that is held to her ear. If you notice also that the knuckles are bent in the flat shape, I'll get my phone, in the flat shape of a phone. The phone is to her ear. It is not an ear trumpet, it is not an AM/FM radio, because obviously it's 1928.
This movie is from the year 1928, a time when even the thought of a mobile phone wasn't realistic. And that's why, so far, no real explanation has been given for this clip. It's one of the very few time travel cases that hasn't been solved. But for some reason, it just got wiped away from our collective memory.